I'm going to stop him.
Why don't you just pay him off?
No. Comes a time when you have to say, enough. No more. And this is it. Men like Bob Warren are a cancer.
What can you do against him?
Whatever it takes, whatever I have to do, he's going to be stopped tonight.
Well, Mrs. Petrocelli, you are one terrific hostess.
It was a fun party, wasn't it? Food was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
You think there was enough of it?
You know, you're just like Mama. The only way she knows a party's a success is when everybody stuffs themselves. She's got enough food left over for a second party. It was great.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, you know what?
What?
If we hurry, it's almost midnight. We can watch the rerun of the film on the late news.
Okay, well, I'll turn the set on anyway, okay?
Look out!
Mr. Warren? Mr. Warren. Sir, can we have a moment with you, please? Sir, can you give us a hint as to the subject or subjects you plan to talk about on tomorrow's special broadcast?
Well, no hints, I'm sorry. But I can tell you this much. There are several things I'll be discussing, and one of them I think the people of San Remo will be especially interested in.
Well, what are yours and Mrs. Warren's immediate plans, then?
Well, we're going to check into a hotel and then go to a party to an old friend of mine, Tony Petrocelli. He and his wife Maggie are having us and some friends out, and if I know Tony, there's going to be pasta fazool and dancing in the desert. Thank you very much for your warm welcome.
Thank you. You've just seen the arrival in San Remo of the renowned consumer advocate, Robert Warren, who promises during a special television broadcast tomorrow to bring us some important local information. Doug Dudley, reporting from the San Remo airport.
If they do any more interviews of you at airports, I'm going to bring a hairdresser along. Did you see the way I look?
That's all right. Did you see Tom looking right into the camera? Yeah. It's the only way my family knows I'm still alive.
Well, gang, it was a great evening, but we got a busy day tomorrow. What do you say we meet for breakfast at 7, huh?
Great. 7 o'clock.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Boy, I'm tired.
Gee, it was nice to see Maggie and Tony again. They really seem to like it out here.
Listen, let the maid do that in the morning, huh? Let's go to bed.
Okay.
Better lock the door.
Warren, Adam North, San Remo Power Project. I want to talk to you now.
Why don't you go to bed, honey? I won't be long.
All right. Mr. North?
What is it you want, Mr. North? It seems to me you already.
Don't play games with me, Warren. You know there's no San Remo Power.
According to my report, there is.
That report's a lie. A lie I can't afford.
Let's take it before the people. Then we'll see who's right.
That's the way I can't afford you, no. Then ruin. I'm sure someone will pay you. Now, just a minute.
More coffee?
No, thank you. I'll get it.
I suppose somehow I was always afraid of something like this. I mean, we're in a world of people doing insane things. There's just no reason to it.
We think we know why it happened, Mr. Petrocelli. It's a report on the San Remo power project. That was the company that North owned.
It says here that the site is unsound. It was built on a fault, huh?
Yeah, Bob was going to announce that at his press conference tomorrow. North must have come by to stop him.
Mr. Petrocelli, there's a gentleman outside to see you.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me. Judge Wanamaker. How are you, sir?
Fine, fine. First, let me tell you how sorry I am about Robert Warren. But there's another reason why I came over to talk to you. I think I should tell you that Adam North and I are old friends.
Yes, sir.
Adam called me and he asked me to contact the best attorney in San Remo County to defend him. And as far as I'm concerned, you're it.
Wait, just 1 second, Your Honor. I mean, you're asking me to defend a man who's accused of murdering my friend? No, I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that. No, that's impossible.
Tony, I understand how you feel. But unofficially, I am asking you to at least talk to him. He says he's innocent.
You know, you place me in a very difficult position.
Tony, at least listen to what he has to say.
All right. Okay, I'll talk to him. But I can't promise you anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me. Who was it?
It was Judge Wanamaker. He wants me to see Adam North.
Were you not?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want me to do, Tony?
No, I don't know yet, Pete. Just don't know.
Okay, I'll be seeing you.
I'm not guilty.
That's what the law says. The man's innocent until proven otherwise. But in this case, the district attorney's office is quite sure they can do just that.
What do you think?
I think you're innocent.
Because the law says I am?
Yeah, because the law says you are. I'm not going to lie to you. Look, why did you ask for me? You must know how I felt about Bob Warren.
Because you're the best.
Look, you could afford to hire almost any attorney in this country. I mean, why don't you do me a favor and get me off the hook?
Mr. Petrocelli, I've lived around here for quite some time. I've made it my business to know about people. I know about you.
Like what?
Like you're honest. Like you can't be bought. Like I need you to defend me. Not because the law says I'm not guilty, but because you believe I'm telling you the truth.
I'm going to be very hard to convince.
Okay. Let me start by telling you about me and your friend, Robert Warren. Then you can decide for yourself, fair?
Fair.
You've heard about the San Remo power project.
Yeah.
You know that my company got the bid for the job. It doesn't really matter when I had to go through to get it. I staked everything I own on that job. Then there were months of surveys, ecological tests, geological tests. Everything was perfect. Clean bill of health. I mean, I was really feeling good. And then I got a phone call. It was from Bob Warren. He told me that they were going to be in San Remo in 10 days, that he and I had some business to conduct. He said in so many words that I was building in a dangerous area on top of the San Remo fault. I said there was no such thing. He said his reports indicated that there was, and unless I donated $100,000 to a post office box, he was going to announce it when he came to San Remo.
Are you trying to tell me that Bob Warren was blackmailing you?
I'm trying to tell you exactly what happened.
You sure as hell aren't making it any easier for me.
I'm only trying to tell you the truth as I know it. I stewed about it for the next 10 days. I worked all my life to get to where I was, and then I saw him on that telecast and really got steamed. I decided to go over and have it out with him.
Let's get a couple copies of it. I'll do it for a second.
Warren, Adam North, San Remo Power Project. I want to talk to you now.
Why don't you go to bed, honey? I won't be long.
All right. Mr. North?
What is it you want, Mr. North?
You know damn well what I want. I want to know what you're going to say tomorrow.
It seems to me you already know.
Don't play games with me, Warren. You know there's no San Remo fault.
According to my report, there is.
That report's a lie. A lie I can't afford.
Well, then let's take it before the people. Then we'll see who's right.
That's the way I can't afford, and you know it. It'll ruin me. I'm sure as hell not going to pay you. Now, just a minute. The rest you know. There I was with a gun, eyewitnesses, practically everything. So help me, every blessed word I've told you is true. I'm sorry, Mr. Petrocelli, that your friend turned out to be the way he was. But that's exactly what happened. I didn't kill him. Will you take my case?
I don't know. I don't know.
Tony, you simply can't believe that.
Honey, I can't disbelieve it either, until I find out.
So you've sent Pete out to dig up as much garbage as he can find about Bob Warren or whatever else. Honey, we both know he had enemies. He was just too good a man not to.
Okay, and obviously Adam North was one of them.
What about Adam North?
Gut feeling?
Gut feeling.
Innocent.
Which means you think Bob was guilty, at least of blackmail.
No, not necessarily.
What if you found out that he was?
It would tear me to pieces.
But?
But what?
But you would still use that information to destroy the name of a wonderful man.
Maggie, I have no other choice.
Tony, he was your friend.
Look, honey. Now, we both know that Adam North or any other man is innocent until proven guilty. So he's entitled to the best defense that he can get.
Don't talk to me like that.
Like what?
Like a law book. Tony, I'm your wife.
Like a law book. Hey, wait a second. Wait a second. You know, I remember a beautiful blonde post-deb from Marshall, Texas, going to Radcliffe, sitting across the table from a poor Italian kid in his last year at Harvard Law School. And I remember her saying to him that she loved the fact that he was becoming a lawyer. And he asked her why, and she said because the law was beautiful. You remember? Yeah, you said that, and I love you for that. And the law is beautiful, honey. It's beautiful enough to want to make me spend the rest of my life at this job. The minute I stop believing that, it's the day that I'm going to quit. I'm going to go over to see Mrs. North.
I'll talk to you later.
Tony, what if you find out Bob was involved in something illegal? Have you thought about what it's going to do to Eleanor?
Back here! I'm in the pool!
Mrs. North?
Yes?
My name is Petrocelli, and your husband has asked me to represent him.
Won't you come in?
I would like to ask you a few questions.
All right.
What time did your husband leave home last night?
9:30 thereabouts.
Were you aware that he's going to go see Bob Warren?
Yes.
Do you know why?
Do you?
You're not making this any easier for me, Mrs. North.
I'm not trying to.
Your husband's life could be at stake here.
I realize that. That's why I can't understand why Adam wants you to defend him.
Oh, I see. In other words, you think that my friendship with Bob Warren would hinder me working for him.
Yes. Yes, I do. I fought Adam when he told me. I don't think that you would intentionally get him convicted. But just how hard would you really try to help him?
Let me tell you something, Mrs. North. I don't particularly like your husband personally, but it would be the easiest thing in the world for me to turn this case down. You know, I feel a lot better about it, but I haven't yet, only for one reason. You see, your husband just may be innocent. Now, that may not be enough to win the case, but it's a start. And if he is, I'm going to do everything in my power to get him off, with or without your help.
Mr. Petrocelli, I'm sorry. I just had to know.
Okay, now that you know, are you going to help me or aren't you?
If I can.
Did your husband tell you that Bob Warren was trying to blackmail him?
Yes. And I told Adam to pay him off. I mean, there's some people that you just can't beat, and Bob Warren's one of them. He held all the cards.
Why didn't you try to stop him from seeing Bob Warren?
I did, but he wouldn't listen to me. He was determined to stop him.
Now, what do you mean, stop him?
I don't know. Stop him.
And was he carrying a gun when he left?
I don't know.
Does he carry a gun often?
Sometimes. I mean, Adam carries a lot of money on him. He has a license to carry one. It's really strange, isn't it? All this could have been avoided if he just paid some money. And now everything's falling apart. Everything we worked so hard for. I haven't been much out. I'd like to see Adam. Can you arrange that?
Yeah, I think so. Whenever you wish. Okay, thank you for your help.
Will you help Adam?
I'll make every effort.
Tony. How you doing?
I'm not. Did you get anything?
If your friend was getting that money he shouldn't have been getting, he sure found himself a hidey hole for it.
Look, Dad, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to check out the occupancy of every room on the 7th floor of that hotel. Can you do that?
You taking the case?
We're on the payroll.
You figure North really chased somebody like he said he did?
Well, I figure we gotta find out. Now, Pete, you know what chambermaid to. Find out who was in those rooms.
Whether they were registered or not?
Pete, you got an X-rated mind.
Look who's coming, Bob's boyhood friend.
Mr. Petrocelli, I don't believe we had a chance to thank you properly for the party you and your wife gave us the other night.
Well, you're welcome, all of you, anytime.
Any friend of Bob's is a friend of yours.
Yeah, that's right. I know that you'd all like an explanation of my position. You're certainly entitled to it.
No explanation is necessary, Petrocelli. It's perfectly obvious. Money. Some people do anything for it, including defending the murder of an old friend.
I'm not going to dignify that statement with an explanation.
Tom, don't be unreasonable with the man. Bob Warren's dead. He's actually nobody's friend anymore. Right. So why shouldn't somebody profit from his death? Besides the man that killed him, that is.
Now, wait a second. Look, I know how you all must feel. But don't you think that I grieve for him, too?
No. You wouldn't be working for Adam North if you did.
Where's your black armband?
Let me tell you something about Bob. If he were here, he'd talk to you about the presumption of innocence. And he believed in that just as much as I did.
Don't talk for him. You've got no right to. You're nothing but a vulture.
I know you're not going to believe what I have to say right now because you're so emotionally upset at what's happened. But I want you to try to remember what I'm going to say. According to the law, Adam North is innocent until proven otherwise. According to me, he's innocent, period. I don't believe that he killed our friend, Bob Warren. And even if I weren't convinced of that, a man is entitled to the best defense that he can get, and I am going to give it to him. That's the law. Bob Warren was my friend. I miss him, too. I meant what I said to you all before. I hope we still can be friends. Eleanor.
Hello, Tony.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I was just on my way over to meet with our friends.
Warren's workers, you know. I just talked, encountered is a better word. Eleanor, I hope you understand why I'm doing this.
I'm puzzled, that's all. Guess I'm not thinking entirely clearly yet.
Please let me promise you something, Ellie. I promise you I will do everything in my power to see that justice is done. Now, please believe me.
I'll try, Tony.
Did the district attorney's office get in touch with you?
They say I'll have to testify.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm not. Not about testifying. I want to see that justice is done, too. Now, tell Maggie I'll be in touch.
Petrocelli.
Hey, what do you say, Daly?
You were having your troubles back there.
I can handle it. Something else you wanted to talk about?
Well, I'm prosecuting the North case.
Ah, still trying to build your track record, I see, huh?
What do you mean by that?
Well, the minute you found out I was representing him, you wanted to get on the case, right?
Right. And you know why?
Sure. Because I clobbered you twice. No, 3 times, including the Stinson dismissal, and you want to get even.
Don't flatter yourself, Petrocelli. To me, it's just a job.
That's the difference between us. To me, it's a career.
Wait a minute. I am supposed to listen if you want to talk about a lesser charge.
Oh, you're talking about copying a plea?
I think the process is known as plea bargaining, Counselor.
Well, think what you want. There's no bargains today.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you're going to plead him not guilty?
Base hit.
Ah, sorry to hear that.
I know, you're all choked out.
Yeah. When I finally nailed you, I wanted it to be a contest, not a pushover. But it's all right. I can wait until next time.
You mean you're going in for murder 1?
You bet I am. I've got opportunity, I've got motive, and I've got an eyewitness. Now, that is murder 1.
Well, a gallon of vino says you can't prove premeditation.
Counselor, 3 words. San Remo fault.
Well, I've got news for you, Counselor. There's no such thing as San Remo fault.
And that's what makes it interesting. Because I've got premeditation whether it actually exists or not. Think about it.
That's what I get paid for.
I love you, Anthony J. Petrocelli.
Oh.
You look awful.
Yeah?
What happened?
Well, apparently you're not the only one that doesn't want me defending Adam North. Just change your mind? You still believe he's guilty?
I believe in you.
Well, can I tell you something else?
Mm-hmm.
Your chicken is burning.
Oh, Lord, don't just stand there. Do something.
Absolutely. I'm going to call the chicken cage and have an order delivered.
Rat. Rat.
Oh, Mrs. North? Adam?
It was just me.
No, fine. I prefer she stay here. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It's all right, Mr. Petrocelli.
How's it going?
Beautiful. The prosecution.
What do you mean?
They've established motive.
How?
The file and the San Remo fault.
But that should show that I was telling the truth about Warren trying to blackmail me. There is no San Remo fault.
It doesn't make any difference whether it's a San Remo fault or not.
But of course it does. If there isn't, Warren was lying.
Look, whether he's lying or mistaken or pipe dreaming, that's irrelevant. The important thing is that you believe that he tried to blackmail you.
That's right.
Well, that is also motive. Look, I want you to try to help me. Is there anything at all that you might have overlooked?
Like what?
Like when you left home to see Warren, did you tell anybody outside of your wife where you were going?
No.
When you got to the hotel, did you see anyone you know?
No, I haven't been to that hotel in years.
Nobody in the lobby?
No, I went from the hotel garage into the elevator. I had it to myself.
When you got off the elevator?
There were a couple of guys who worked for Warren.
Did they see you?
Yeah, but they didn't know me, so they didn't pay any attention to me.
Did anybody else see you?
Warren and Mrs. Warren. Like I've told you, I didn't see who threw the gun at me.
It doesn't look very good, does it?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment, no. Hi, honey. Where's Pete?
I'm here.
Where?
Under the desk. He was flipping a coin. Oh.
You owe me one buffalo.
Buffalo?
A nickel.
Okay, I'll swap you for some good news.
I'll make you some coffee.
There ain't a whole heck of a lot to tell you, Tony.
Okay, earn your nickel.
Other than Warren's suite, there are 5 double rooms, 6 single rooms on that floor, and most of them occupied by Warren's people. There's a couple in the double from Michigan, and there are a couple of school teachers from Northampton, Mass. That makes 9.
And?
And 1 unoccupied, and another a lady from Catskill, New York.
That's Catskill. Check them out?
Well, there ain't been hardly time for that, Tony, and besides, it's gonna cost you.
Okay, run them down. I'll give you an IOU.
All right. But I'd like something in advance, say about $10.
Say why?
Well, it's for the booze, the Scotch whiskey.
No way, no way.
It isn't for me, Tony. It's for Irma.
Well, who's Irma?
She just loves Scotch whiskey. She's the assistant bookkeeper over at the hotel.
And you're great at figures.
You do me an injustice, counselor. Irma is my godmother.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Take the stand, please.
Mrs. Warren, I know how painful this is for you, so with the permission of the court and the kind indulgence of the defense counsel, I'm going to reconstruct for you, from statements that you have made to me, the events of that dreadful and tragic evening, asking only that you correct me on any point of fact that I might misstate. Now, to begin with, you were in the room when Mr. North entered, weren't you?
Yes.
And what was his attitude?
He was angry, very angry.
Warren, Adam North, San Remo Power Project. I want to talk to you now.
Why don't you go to bed, honey? I won't be long.
All right. Mr. North?
You seem upset, Mr. North. Can I offer you a drink?
You know why I'm here, Warren.
I do?
Don't play games with me, Warren. I want to know what you're going to say tomorrow.
Seems to me you've already.
But you get me. You'll ruin me for good.
Mr. North, I have a responsibility. I have to tell the public about the existence of the San Remo Power. Don't you understand? Their welfare's at stake, perhaps even their lives. I have no choice.
I have a choice.
Thank you, Mrs. Warren. I'm sorry you had to go through that. Your witness, counselor.
Mrs. Warren, you saw Mr. North in the room before and after the shooting.
I did.
Were you in the room at the time of the shooting?
No.
And can you positively state that it was Mr. North who fired that shot?
No.
Are you aware of the fact that Mr. North is prepared to make an accusation that... No further questions.
The witness is excused.
The prosecution calls Lieutenant Thomas Lacey.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Take a stand, please.
Then, Lieutenant Lacey, there is absolutely no doubt in your mind that the bullet that killed Warren came from the gun that was in Mr. North's hand when he came out of the room?
No, sir.
Thank you. Your witness, Counselor.
Thank you. Lieutenant, how you doing? Lieutenant, what kind of gun was the murder weapon?
A .25 caliber Starfire.
Otherwise known as a Saturday night special.
I believe so.
Available almost anywhere in the country?
Yes.
Even through the mails?
Yes.
No license necessary?
Unless, of course, it's carried concealed.
I see. Would you consider that a reliable weapon?
No, it's very cheaply made.
Are you aware of the fact that Adam North is licensed to carry a gun?
Yes.
What kind of gun do you carry, Lieutenant?
A .38 police special.
If you were carrying a gun as a private citizen and licensed to do so, would you carry something as unreliable as a .25 caliber Starfire?
No.
Neither would Adam North. Thank you. No further questions.
The witness is excused.
That concludes the case for the people, Your Honor.
We will recess until 10 a.m. tomorrow, at which time the defense will present its case. I caution the members of the jury that they are not to discuss this case among themselves or with anyone else. Court stands recessed.
All rise.
Where is Pete?
I don't know. He should have been here by now.
You know, there's something there. No matter how hard I shake that tree, the apple just won't fall out of my hands. Got anything?
Well, yes and no. I got something. Tony, I know how you feel about this case, but, well, those hotel maids, I swear they got hollow legs.
Well, you just tell those hotel maids that from now on they're going to have champagne running through their veins. I want you to do one more thing for me. I want you to find out where Bob Warren was 10 days ago and check every call that was made from there to San Remo.
Tony?
I think the apple just fell into my hands, baby. And your husband told you that Bob Warren was trying to pressure him into paying for a clean report on the project.
Yes, he did.
What was his state of mind when he left to see Bob Warren?
Well, he was furious. I tried to stop him, but he wanted this all out in the open.
His intention was to fight Robert Warren publicly on those charges.
Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. North. No further questions. Cross?
No questions, Your Honor.
Tony!
The defense calls to the stand Mr. Daniel Carter.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Take a stand, please.
Mr. Carter, you worked for Bob Warren for how long?
3 years.
Now, I understand that you helped prepare many of the reports which gave Mr. Warren his information.
Some.
Did you not prepare the report on the San Remo Power Project?
Yeah, I helped.
I'm sure. You know how damaging that report was to Adam North?
Yes, but there has to be a little concern for the people.
Nothing personal in this.
Of course not.
No one stood to profit by it, huh?
Only the people.
And maybe just one person in particular. Now, let me pose a hypothetical set of facts to you, Mr. Carter. And if I go too far afield, you let me know. Adam North did, in fact, receive that phone call threatening him with release of the report unless he paid hush money. But not from Bob Warren, as he thought, but from someone else who also knew about the report. Someone who worked very closely on it. Someone who had worked the same game before, successfully. But this time, something went wrong. Instead of paying off, Adam North went to confront Warren. Things weren't going according to plan. One thing was certain. He knew that if North told Warren of the blackmail attempt, everything would blow up in his face. In a panic, he went for his gun, the .25 caliber Starfire, the Saturday night special. He figured there was only one way out, and so he decided to kill. But not Warren. He was trying to kill Adam North before his secret came out. And just a small movement at that time killed Bob Warren and saved Adam North. Realizing what had happened, he threw the gun, which North, by reflex, caught, was seen by Mrs. Warren, and ran right into the arms of the police. As you have seen, there is another report on the San Remo Power Project. This report, also prepared by Daniel Carter, found in his room and stating clearly that the first project was clean. Upon receipt of the money, he was to give Bob Warren this report, stating that the first report was in error. I have also heard the sworn testimony of the Dallas hotel operator that the call to Adam North came not from Bob Warren, but from Daniel Carter.
White zone is for passenger loading and unloading only. Please observe the 3-minute time limit. Thank you. The white zone is for
There she is. Hey. Hi. Oh.
We try to avoid the traffic, we get stuck in the biggest jam in San Remo history. Yeah, let me take that.
Hey, if you ever decide to come back east for a visit, I'll be there.
You know what? I couldn't get him away from here with blasting powder. Have a nice trip, okay?
I was determined not to embarrass you by thanking you again, or by crying either. But darn, I can't do it. Maggie?
No. Take care of yourself.
Okay. You mind if an old friend kisses your husband?
Just once.
Thank you for saving Bob's name.
Yeah. Bye. You're right.
Do you know what, Anthony J. Petrocelli?
What?
You're okay.
That good, huh?
Better.
Tell you what I'm gonna do.
What?
You have earned yourself a real night in the town. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up Pete. I'm gonna do something I've never done before.
What?
I'm gonna allow you to name the place.
The fanciest place in San Remo.